Hello. When you're on the spiritual path, the universe is going to sequester you. It's going to isolate you from society, from the people that you used to hang out with. So you're probably going to keep to yourself a lot. Why is that? Why is it going to feel as though there's something higher than you that is now in charge of your life? It's because when we first awaken spiritually, we have to unplug from the flatness, which is another word for unconsciousness. You see, a lot of people are not living their lives intentionally, so they're not living with awareness. And when someone is living without awareness, the energy when you're around them is going to feel very flat. So you're not going to want to be around that anymore, because when you're alone, you know how to pour into yourself. You love getting acquainted with your true self. You feel like you're touching another world, a higher world, and that is precisely what you're doing. And this higher world has such a higher frequency that the more you unplug from the external world, the more you start to plug into this socket. It's like a socket, a very high voltage socket. And you're like, wow, I want more of this. I want more of this. It's almost like the universe is feeding you. It's like this higher source that you've now rediscovered or remembered is feeding you, and you can't get enough of it. And so you might be thinking, well, why is it that I have to be so isolated? It's because what you're going to find is that the more time you spend alone, the more you're going to realize, wow, no one can give me what I give myself. This electricity, this magnetic energy that I feel in me, that is something that the external world never gave to me. The external world felt so flat. Now, it doesn't feel flat when you're easily seduced by the world, because it's like you're running from yourself. So of course, everything's going to feel like, yeah, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. But when you finally awaken, you realize, man, that feels so flat. It's so sterile. And so the more time you spend alone, the more connected you get to this higher source, or you could say the universe, or to your truest self. And so the voltage gets turned all the way up, and you're like, ooh. And so you can start creating these incredible realities through the power of your mind, through this energy, this electricity that's coursing in your body. And so you eventually reach a point where you go, okay, there's nothing that the external world can give me at this point. All it can really do is attract something to myself that is at the same frequency. And when I finally attract it, I will recognize it as my own creation. And you can also say it's that other person's creation too. They attracted you, or you attracted a situation, and that situation attracted you, because both of you were tapped in on that level. So something really bendy and trippy starts to happen, where you go, there's no use in me going out there to get anything because it all feels flat. So I'm just going to stay home, or I'm going to go on walks, and I'm going to keep pumping up this energy from within myself, because I'm creating worlds upon worlds within myself. And eventually, when you least expect it, you magnetically draw to yourself that very thing or person that you recognize as your own creation. And so you're no longer compelled to step out into the physical world to make things happen. As a matter of fact, you start to see that as you faltering. You know, I've had a lot of people say to me, when are you going to start doing this? When are you going to start doing that? I will do it when it has appeared. But if I step out prematurely, then my ego is making it happen, not me. And so you reach a level within yourself where you're like, I'm not tempted to do those things if they feel like effort, if they feel like force. I'm not interested. I only want to do me, and I'm going to keep pumping it up and pumping it up and pumping it up. And in perfect time, this situation or opportunity is going to appear, because it's not really a situation or an opportunity outside of me. It's an opportunity that was birthed from within me and that is now presenting in my life. So that's kind of how it works. So yeah, you just, even traveling for a while, you're going to be like, I don't see the point. Everything out there feels flat to me. And then you become like this mad scientist in your own lab where you're like, oh, I just want more of this higher energy, because that higher energy is the truest version of you. It's your creator self. It's you as a creator. You're starting to understand that you're co-creating with Source, with God, with the universe. And nothing compares to that, to the magnitude of what you feel when you're in that state. It's like an electricity and a magnetism. It's both. But yeah, you start to really value your time. What's the point of getting on a plane if I already know intuitively that it's flat? I'm only going to do things that light me up. And so if it doesn't excite me, if it doesn't light me up, I'm not going to do it, because that experience is going to have nothing to offer you. Remember, you can tap into all these different possibilities from the comfort of your home. If it doesn't, wow, jump out at you, it means that it's not for you. So if you say to me, well, Phil, I don't know if I should apply for this job, or, what do you think my next step should be? That means it hasn't arrived yet. So you're trying to force it. You're fighting where you are. So instead, go deeper within yourself and crank up the volume of your own frequency. And you'll know that change has happened when it's happened. You'll know, because it just happens. You reach a certain frequency within yourself and all the light bulbs turn on. It's like the heavens open. The heavens open. And then, bloop, it just plops in front of you. And you're like, there you are. I see you. Thank you for showing up. Let's do this. So anyways, that's my message to you tonight. It's midnight, so it's pretty late, but I wanted to share that with you. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't feel like going out. There's nothing wrong with you if you spend years in isolation. You're getting acquainted. You're getting connected to that highest source. And that's when you really start to awaken to the fact that what was out there was just an illusion. It was never really true. It was never really true. And then you refuse to go out there unless something matches you. Because what's the point? Most of it's flat. See, most of humanity right now is not vibrating at a high level. They're just not. And I don't mean that with judgment. It's just the truth. Because people aren't tapping in. So you become a creator and you create everything from inside of yourself. It's powerful. And you almost don't want to leave your house because you're like, this feels too good. Or these walks feel too good. So just keep trusting yourself. Keep believing in your magic. Because as soon as you falter, as soon as you start believing in what's out there, like, nothing's happened for a while, I'm going to go make it happen, you flunk the test. You're never going to find out if your magic was true if you don't follow through. You have to believe and commit to this. You have to believe in it. You have to commit to it. Everything starts inside. The entire universe is inside of you. The entire universe. So keep that in mind. I love you.